So today we're going to be going over 12 fragrance clones that I think every collector should have or look into getting. There could be a few different reasons why you may want to look into some fragrance clones, whether it be you want to start getting into some scent DNAs that are a bit out of reach, a little bit out of your budget. You can get into them at a fraction of the price, or if you want to conserve some of the stuff you already have, there's many uses for them. I mean, say for example, you wanted your house to smell like Acqua di Gio or something like that. Instead of spending a bunch of money spraying Acqua di Gio around your house, you could buy a clone of it and use it as an air freshener. You know, it's things like that where you just might not really realize how much it'll come in handy until you have it on hand. So I think these are all really good here personally. I think they're great interpretations of what they're trying to go after. Like I said, we've got 12 of them. I will link them down below. I also want to point you over to my community tab where I'm doing $500 giveaways every month and also posting deals on rare, discontinued, hard to find stuff. Make sure you get subscribed so you can enter those giveaways so you don't miss out on anything else. Let's get it kicked off with Bentley for Men Silver Lake. Now this one smells very similar to Acqua di Gio Essenza / Profondo / the original Acqua di Gio. It's kind of a matchup of those, and it smells very, very nice. I mean, it's really going to be that aquatic DNA, that Acqua di Gio DNA that you know and love, just bottled up into something that's going to be more affordable. Now, especially with Essenza, that's discontinued. You can't find that anywhere under $200 or something crazy. And while this is not one-to-one of Essenza, you know, there's going to be some variances between the two. It'll kind of give you a little bit of a similar feel, the way the aromatics are and that sort of thing. So a nice little clone here that you can get for about $50. That puts you in that ballpark. If you like freshies and aquatics, you'll love this. Go up to a clone brand now, Rasasi La Yukawa. If you like leather, then you'll like this, but I'm talking like realistic leather here. Not just, has a leather accord and you can hardly pick up on it. I'm talking animalic leather to the extreme. That's going to be this. Leather and raspberry is really all you need to know. Great stuff. I mean, this is top of the line leather fragrances here. Tuscan leather itself is very expensive and not everyone wants to pay that money. And if you don't, you could go for something like this. Even this one actually is going to be a little bit pricier. I think sometimes $60, maybe even closer to $70 sometimes, which for a clone is expensive. However, when you compare that to actual Tuscan leather, it's still a bargain. It's a monstrous performer, completely beast mode. It's out of this world strong, so do be careful with it, but you're definitely getting your money's worth with this. Next up, we have Taroty Blue by Afnan. So this is going to be kind of in the ballpark of Bulgari Tiger, which is a grapefruit-based scent, and there's also a little hint of Bleu de Chanel in here, kind of from the way the woods kind of come across here, and that sort of thing. It has a little bit of an ambery sweetness, heavy on the amber, and ultimately it's going to be Bulgari Tiger first and foremost in terms of what it's a clone of, but just with a hint of like a little bit of a modernized blue fragrance type of deal going on, just a slight bit. So if you want, ultimately, a very unique citrus fragrance, a nice, unique citrus woody that has a lot of class and mass appeal and depth and complexity and uniqueness to it, I would check out something like this. You know, it's not going to be cookie cutter run-of-the-mill. It really brings something new to the table. Bulgari Tiger is very expensive. I don't even think it's in stock on most discounters right now. Retail would be the only way to go, and it's $200+, something like that. I don't even have a bottle of it. I only have a sample of it, and personally, I don't really feel the need to have a bottle when I have this. Okay, let's keep it moving with Rue Broca Pride Intense. So this one's actually, I believe, a subsidiary of another clone brand, either Al Haramain or Afnan, one of the two, I can't remember for sure. But this one smells very similar to Paco Rabanne Pure XS. Now, Pure XS in and of itself is not that much of an expensive fragrance, right? It's not a whole lot of money on discounters, usually $55, somewhere around in there. But this one in particular performs better than Pure XS. Again, the original Pure XS, which is impressive. I sprayed it on a tester strip when I first got it in, smelling it immediately. To me, it was Pure XS, and I put the strip down. The whole room smelled like this stuff. I mean, it really hangs around. And of course, on skin, I get very similar performance. Nice atomizer. Has a real nice kind of boozy, sugary sweetness to it. Smells amazing, and a beast mode scent. Now this one here costs usually around $20. It's Lattafa Assad, and the reason why I bring up that price point is because it's 20 bucks. And this is cloning Dior Sauvage Elixir, which when it's in stock on discounters, usually around 140, 145. We're talking a huge difference in price here, and this offers tremendous bang for your buck. It's a strong performer. You know, Sauvage Elixir is kind of in a league of its own. It's not quite there, but it's incredibly close, and this is a lot stronger than most other fragrances in this price point. It's very close to Elixir, has the sandalwood, nutmeg, licorice, a kind of sweetness going on. Very sweet woodiness. This is going to be very mature, not for everybody. But if you do want a clone of Elixir, this is the one to get, and this is all you need. This one I think is also usually around $25, $29, $30, somewhere around in there. From Moff, it's Très Nuit. So this one is a clone of Green Irish Tweed. I love that scent by Creed. It's one of my favorites from the brand. But, you know, even on discounters, it's nowhere near cheap, okay? And also, as per usual with most Creeds, a lot of them don't perform that great. So you're spending a lot of money and not getting the best performance. Quality is very good. I'm not going to doubt that or knock that. It is good. It has declined over the years, but it's still, they're great quality scents. But performance is a big holdup for a lot of people when you're spending that type of money. This one actually performs really good. So you have that lemon verbena, you have a little bit of iris, a lot of the ambergris in here, which of course is going to be ambroxan in this case. And so it gives you very much that green Irish tweed, kind of gentlemanly, soapy, clean, fresh scent. It is perfect for spring and early summer. You got to have some of this around. Next up, we have Paris Corner Amir Fire Your Desire. So this is going to be a Killian Angels Share clone. Now, there's also Lattafa Camera. That one oftentimes is very elusive. It's in stock, it's out of stock. It usually sells out very quick, a little bit trickier to get. This is another alternative for you, which is still just as good as Camera. It's very much a Angels Share clone. In fact, it might even be a little bit closer to Angels Share than Camera is. That one has a little bit more of like a different type of almost praline sweetness and gourmand. Still very close, but some discrepancies. This one is probably a little bit closer, and it's easier to get. Definitely a great, nice, boozy, wintertime gourmand scent for not a lot of money. Let's keep it moving with Al Haramain Amber Oud Ruby Edition. If you like beast mode fragrances, we've already went across a couple in this video, but here is another one. Now, this is a Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait clone. The reason why Extrait over EDP is this one features almond, which is in the Extrait. I like this, and I prefer this compared to the EDP, and I prefer the Extrait of BR540 to the EDP because of that almond. Gives it a little bit more depth, makes it a little bit more of a substantial, full-bodied scent. The original EDP and some of the other clones of it that just go after the EDP are almost a little bit too transparent and woody and light. This one has a little bit more bite to it, but one thing I can tell you is the performance is completely crazy. It's stupid how strong this is. It causes olfactory fatigue. I do need to warn you of that. You might go nose blind to it because it's so powerful, but if you get some feedback from other people who also haven't gone nose blind to it, if they've been around you for a while, I mean, this stuff will go for hours and hours and hours. 12 plus is not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, I hit that pretty consistently. This is a very, very strong performer. Let's go for a Sauvage clone up next. There's quite a few of them out there, some more expensive than others. This is going to be one of the cheapest ones, and it's actually, to me, one of the best ones, which is surprising. Cheap and also the best. So it's Antonio Banderas, the icon, the Eau de Toilette. Very important, the Eau de Toilette. Don't get the Eau de Parfum thinking that it's, you know, stronger and it's still Sauvage. Maybe it's Sauvage EDP. It's not. You got to get the EDT if you're after Sauvage. So it's got the ambroxan, black pepper, bergamot thing, right? You guys know it. But it's done in a really nice way. Great pressurized atomizers on these. I feel bad saying that and not showing you, so I will show you. It's just going to smell like Sauvage down here now, which I guess is not a horrible thing. Great atomizer. And for usually testers, $14, 100 mil with cap. Yes, $14. Full presentation when it's in stock, $19 or $20. Next to nothing, and a really nice one. Our Moff Legacy is a clone of Chanel Platinum Egoiste, and Chanel Platinum Egoiste is a barbershop style aromatic fougere scent, a little bit more traditional, so to speak. It's got a lot of lavender, geranium, that sort of thing. Very soapy clean, mature, and kind of more of the older style of men's fragrance. You know, they're not putting out things like that nearly as often anymore, and that's just because it's not as trendy as it used to be. I love fragrances like that. Platinum Egoiste is even more of a modern take. If you compare that with something like YSL Rive Gauche or even something like Rouge Parfum Scandal, I think the Chanel is the most modern take. And the Chanel came out a while ago, so I think it's aged perfectly. It's really easy to pull off, even if you're a younger guy. It's great stuff. It is expensive, but that's where this comes into play. This does everything that the Chanel does, and you really can't complain. Quality isn't quite there, no surprise. Performance is actually pretty much on par. Really nice one. Almost down to the end, we have Paris Corner Amir Sadrat Essence Sadrat Boise, which is really, really cool because this is the first Sadrat Boise cologne that I've smelled, and this is so nearly spot on that I just don't see use for any other clone of Sadrat Boise if they're out there. I mean, this is almost a dead ringer. It's impressive. Now, this in particular is an extrait de parfum concentration, but that doesn't mean this is a clone of Sadrat Boise Intense Parfum. This is going after the EDP. I had someone question me last time, and so I'll zoom right in there for you. As you can see, possibly extrait de parfum. So very highly concentrated, great performer. It's Sadrat Boise for about half the price. You know, Sadrat itself isn't all that expensive on discounters, but still, every dollar counts, and if you are on a budget, you can't go wrong with this. Next up, Al Haramain's Detour Noir, and this is actually the last right here, Detour Noir. So this is a Layton clone. Now, this one is pretty tough to get, so I put it at the end. Now, I will say this, you know, this is why you get subscribed, because the second this comes in stock, usually it'll be on Fragrance Buy. I post about it on my community tab, and you can sign up at the link down below and get an email notification as well. So your chances of missing this go down substantially when you're subscribed and getting the emails. So I'm still just going to put this in here and just have you guys know that it'll come back in stock at some point, and I will notify you guys of it. So just hang on, be patient, because it's worth the wait. You know, this is usually when it's in stock, $28, $29, $30, 100 mil, great performer. It's Layton, about as close as you can get. And Layton itself, usually around 200. When they do those big Parfums de Marly sales, it's like 180. So we're still talking a ton of savings, and it's worth hanging around. The best Layton cologne out there, if not one of the very best. I mean, it's super impressive. Can't get any closer than this. Great stuff to have around. It's worth hunting down and being on the lookout for. Don't pay overinflated prices. Just get subscribed and wait for it to show up, and I'll let you know. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for me. 12 fragrance clones that I think every collector should own or consider owning at one point or another. Great ones here. I really like these a lot. I think they're great at what they do. Great performers and everything. I mean, you just can't go wrong. If you're on a budget, this is the video for you. Links will be down below. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.